The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, I'm Jasmine Iru with the news.
And I'm Terry with sports. Later in the bulletin.
In this edition, Morabes GBV response during hearing, government launches TVET improvement project, and Maroons come from behind win. The outbreak of pests and invasive species will continue to threaten our food security if we are not equipped with smarter tools and processes for surveillance and mitigation. The Acting Director General of the National Agricultural Research Institute, Waria Orapa, echoed this concern during a stakeholder analysis workshop for a plant health program called PlantWise Plus. The workshop was staged in early May under the auspices of the Center of Agriculture and Bioscience International at Nari's Momase Regional Research Center in Leh. It marked the inception of the PlantWise Plus program, which will be rolled out in collaboration with the Nari and the National Agriculture and Quarantine Inspection Authority. The program, when implemented, will support the reduction of crop losses due to key pests and diseases such as coffee berry borer and cocoa pod borer. PNG continues to heavily rely on the extraction of natural resources such as minerals, oil and gas for its revenues and export earnings, which are mainly kept in offshore foreign currency accounts.
According to Central Bank's monetary policy statement for March 2023, the government should ensure that its revenues from the mineral sector, including LNG, are used to fund investment opportunities in the non-mineral sector to promote inclusive and sustainable growth. The central bank stated that the government, in partnership with the non-mineral private sector, should promote export-driven and import substitution activities. Export-driven activities will drive production in the AFF, which is agriculture, forestry and fishing, and tourism sectors, which will positively impact small and medium-sized enterprises. The government's emphasis to focus on the agriculture sector is a step in the right direction to help increase production of the major cash crops for export. This strategy includes encouraging downstream processing of primary produce and embarking on new areas of exports, for example, food production and processing, which will diversify and expand the country's export base. At the same time, promoting import substitution to replace imports that can be produced in PNG, such as rice, imported fuel for power generation with domestically produced gas, increase local food production to replace imports of foods, fresh meat, etc., will help to significantly reduce our import bill. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
The East New Britain Provincial Administration has made another part payment to settle the site for the Kokopo sewage treatment plant at Ulavio, located along the Kokopo-Tokua corridor. A check of 2 million kina was presented to the WR Carpenters Group legal officer Sheila Sukuyanom on Tuesday, May the 30th, by Acting Provincial Administrator Levi Mano. This leaves a balance of $500,000 kina that is yet to be paid by the ENBPA. Governor Michael Marum assured that this should be settled by the end of this year or early 2024. Mano said though it is a national project, the provincial administration took it on board and through an agreement with the company and owner of the site has been making installments since 2019. The Kokopo City sewage system was to have 19 constructed pump stations that would run from Butuwin to the Kinabot residential area and then from the Takubar industrial area to Tokua Airport. The Morobe Provincial Administration was a part of the hearing during the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment and Gender-Based Violence. On the third day of hearing, the GEWE and GBV committee used this to engage with subnational governments in the country as well for the committee to have an idea on where the provincial administrations are putting their efforts into addressing GBV and social-related violence. During the third day of hearing for the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment and Gender-Based Violence, the Morobe Provincial Administration presented its work and efforts in addressing GBV in the province. Morobe Provincial Deputy Administrator Robin Bazinuk said in 2015 to 17 a rollout of the strategic plan with 5 pillars was made. Strengthening legal support and enforced response to FSV in the province. Number 2, greater prevention activities and community awareness for FSV. Prompt and effective medical service are provided to the survivors. Services are provided and support services for survivors. Strengthening coordination and management of the information and leadership in the province.
One of the things that we have a very effective network, and all sector, not just CSO and other NGOs and partners, but also the national functions in magisterial services. Therefore, we meet together and discuss way forwards that we do things.
Officer in charge of the MPA GBV desk, Thelma Hungito, added on the work of the fight against GBV in the province.
The best practices we do in all bigla something. It's just ongoing quarterly meetings. We have consultations, ongoing reporting biannually to our administrators and to the people concerned that indirectly they are sensitized and they are aware of what is happening in the province. And also we have prevention awareness that are going on in the province, and we look at GBV as a law and order issue, and we approach it as a sectoral approach with law and justice agencies in the province. So with that, we thought one of our major challenges, our people from the rural areas of Morobe reaching out to basic services in Ley District. So how do they come out to Ley District?
Deputy Chairman for GEWE Committee, Alan Bird, was surprised of the difference between the national and provincial level and how administrations are using partners to carry out activities to fight against GBV. Bird also asked if any government funding allocated last year was received from the Department of Community Development to fund those activities. A CIPIC provincial administration also added they did not receive any funding. Representatives from the law and order sector held a meeting yesterday to discuss a number of important issues affecting New Ireland Province. Amongst issues discussed was a directive for all political red-colored police vehicles to be immediately impounded, checked to ensure they meet quality standards, and repainted to traditional blue colors of the Royal Papua New Guinea Police Constabulary, as has been the case since PNG's independence. Chairman for Law and Order Edwin Maigen said the New Ireland government is of the view that law enforcement may be put in an awkward situation whereby opposition supporters will not recognize the red police colors and may invite possible confrontation, endangering the lives of policemen and women. This is TVWAN News after the break. TVET Improvement Project at Pomtech and Creative Arts First Show.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance. I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future, because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia! Prime PNG made.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectation.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook, and with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
He loves the maroons. He loves the blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Laga, Bunyamyumi.
Whether we're playing sport, exercising for fitness, being active for work or play, just having some fun, or just chilling, there is one name we can count on that we know will keep us going strong. Skell Rice. Healthy, nutritious, delicious medium grain rice full of vitamins and minerals. Skell helps us maintain a healthy, active lifestyle so we can enjoy every day.
Skell Rice. Skell Life.
Underway here at Santos this afternoon. Penzi caught and caught. Welcome back. What about two separate the Maris campaign this afternoon? There you go. Too easy. Up, Spitano, one. He will score. There it is, finally. Super ranking Pacific. Pride of the Pacific Islands on display.
Welcome back. Government tuition fee subsidy funds for Term 2 were paid on May the 24th. In Circular Number 24 of 2023, Education Secretary Dr. Uke Kombra said all school accounts should have been credited by end of last week. Of the 10,640 schools from elementary to special education and rehabilitation centers, more than 154 million kina has been paid out by the government. Dr. Komba reminded decentralized provinces to remit the total funds as allocated to schools immediately, and that there should be no variation by provinces in the allocations made by the department. For Term 1, all schools were paid their tuition fees totaling 190 million kina. The Secretary said all schools were paid their Terms 1 and 2 project fees, support totaling 80 million kina. Technical and vocational education and training is the most practical avenue for acquiring readily employable skills for the world of work. Minister for Higher Education, Research and Science and Technology, Don Pollier, made these remarks at today's launching of the TVET for Improvement project at the Port Moresby Technical College.
PNG needs skilled workers to fill the gaps in various sectors of the economy, including building and construction industry, power and energy plants, water distribution and sanitation systems, and large public works. Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Don Pollier, uttered these sentiments when speaking at the launch of the TVET for Improvement project at Port Moresby Technical College today. Pollier said the country needs highly skilled technical personnel to drive the agenda of transforming our economy through value addition to PNG's primary commodities and natural resources. He said functioning TVET systems are best placed to train the skilled workforce the country needs to address the socio-economic development challenges.
So therefore, let's work as technocrats and technicians and as professionals. And you see me, don't you treat me as a politician and one who comes and goes. I've been here for the last 24 years now, and I'll be here still. I would like to make sure that next 5 years, quality of technical education in Papua New Guinea will be improved to the international best practice standards.
Minister Pollier further highlighted that the government is committed to work with all stakeholders to appreciate the role of TVET in the national development of our country. Furthermore, Pollier said the formulation of policies and strategies alone is not enough to unleash the full potential of TVET for sustainable socio-economic development. He added that increasing investments in the TVET sector and building a strong implementation capacity is important.
It is a shame that over many years the TVET sector has been overlooked. For the first time, the Marape Rosa government is looking at it, and we have a 203 million plus to spend, and I'm sure we will have more programs coming up. So it is a belief that we have and stand in our constitution. And it's very important, and I am happy to implement this program. You look at what the Prime Minister said when we formed the government. He said, no child will be left behind.
Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
East New Britain Governor Michael Maroon believes in the potential of cruise tourism. Before COVID-19, cruise tourism employed 1.8 million people around the world and generated over $154 billion, about 547 billion kina, to the global economy. Governor Maroon believes sustainable cruise tourism growth is an economic opportunity for his people and a moral obligation that the provincial administration must fulfill. He outlined that with the projected increase in cruise passenger volume in the Pacific and PNG, priority must be on sustainable practices, with the governor encouraging the cruise ship industry to consider East New Britain and its unique food, culture and environment. Governor Maroon wants the provincial administration to continue to grow and nurture this area. For the very first time, the Creative Arts Students Association from the University of Papua New Guinea will be hosting a creative arts show at the Hilton Hotel this Saturday, June the 3rd. The Creative Arts Strand is embarking on doing several shows in an effort to boost the creative arts industry in the school and the country as well. In its commitment to boost the creative arts sector in school and in the country, the Creative Arts Students Association from the University of Papua New Guinea will be hosting a creative arts show at the Hilton Hotel this Saturday, June the 3rd. Association President Eugene Avediba emphasized that the show will be the first of consecutive monthly shows with the Hilton Hotel.
Once reviving the association, we thought it would be better to invest in our students' development, to promote the culture and what they learn and teach here at the institution itself. So the beginning of this showcase will maintain a partnership with Hilton to promote the students' courses and also act as a networking platform for our students out there. Coming to the show, you will witness live painting, dances, dramas, music from our music students. It's a more of a collaboration of all students, the entire creative arts strand here. Yeah.
This initiative is student-run with 35 students participating. The consecutive arts show will lead to the first annual Creative Arts Festival that will be held on the UPNG campus in October this year. Before the festival, a corporate fundraising dinner will be held at the Hilton Hotel to raise funds for the main festival. CASA Chairman George Kurokuro said this year's theme is the future of creative arts and culture in PNG.
We have our themes in relation to the themes of NCC and of course the themes with the coming festival, Vanuatu Festival. So we're all in line to that. It's the future of art and culture in Papua New Guinea. So yes, it's all in line to preserving our cultures, and this is our contribution as students to what we study here in the University of Papua New Guinea.
Tickets for this weekend's event are being sold at 50 kina for adults, 10 kina for children under 12 years old, and free entry for children below 5 years of age. Eugene Avediba, president of Creative Arts Students Association of UPNG, said the association has been dormant for a while. With the upcoming planned Creative Arts show, it is an opportunity and must be to boost and activate the association again. Its members are giving back to the strand through fundraising efforts and invest in the art division of the university.
Currently, funding is one of our major struggle here. Mostly when we say creative arts, they do not think of that more emphasis towards creative arts itself. Yeah, and we're hoping that through using this platform or this show to go out, it will bring in more of our alumni to come back and help support us. The same course you're taking is the same degree that is offered in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. So in theatre arts, we've actually gone ahead in filming, in events management. These are some things that you can also look in. In arts and design, they've already gone further into doing graphics, fashion, and also into software development. For students who are willing to take up creative arts, there is a future out there for you. And it is promising.
You're watching TVWAN News. We'll have news from overseas when we return. Stay with us.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With BSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of that worry when you pass away. The benefits of the BSP Life Insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great fumutu. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
House launches the low-cost quick build kit home, built with quality building materials from the leading manufacturer of steel products and kit homes, Atlas Steel. Going now at introductory prices: 1-bedroom kit home at 79,000 kina, 2-bedroom kit home at 99,900 kina, and 3-bedroom kit home at 125,000 kina. You can also opt for solar units to be installed in the kit home at an extra charge. For more information, email info@hardwarehouse.com.pg.
It's in the highs
and in the lows. It's in the big things. And the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame oil, winning taste.
The two teams now make their way out to take center stage this afternoon. Keep it going. Nicky Hassel, the show and go, and Hassel will score. They come back now to open territory. Sweet back the Port Moresby Vipers. And they make it pay. Oh yes, another freakish play there. And he will go all the way. Chris Benjamin finally.
Welcome back. Measures are being taken to protect the South Australia ecosystem from warming climate. Experts are warning action needs to be taken now to help protect world-renowned Coorong wetlands.
A dredge at the mouth of the Murray, just months after a major flood. The equipment was stood down for the first time in 6 years last November, but has returned in preparation to keep the water flowing out of the river mouth as levels drop. The summer flood has given the Coorong a temporary reprieve.
So we do get regeneration of plants, we get spawning of other fish, the native fish, we reset the system.
But the environment is still recovering more than a decade after the end of the millennium drought. With the Bureau of Meteorology forecasting a dry and warm winter, experts say it's crucial to keep water flowing into the Coorong.
If we don't deliver flow through the barrages and into the Coorong, then it has massive implications. It affects every part of that ecosystem.
Further upstream, River Murray communities are relieved to hear the forecast for drier conditions, which means another flood this year is unlikely. But they're already preparing for future natural disasters like droughts as the weather warms.
Well, we need to consider bushfires and storms. We need to think about every aspect, if you like, of the potential damage.
The government-funded One Basin Cooperative Research Centre has 4 regional hubs across the Murray-Darling Basin. They're working on research projects with industry to address long-term changes to the climate.
Even just in the future, what crop varieties can grow in a hotter climate. What does that do to the soils? Are there different varieties that need to be developed? Are there different total crop types?
Sowing seeds to cope with a warmer future.
Bushfire preparation is causing a haze over Brisbane. Brisbane's air quality has plummeted to very poor, with smoke continuing to smother the city.
Has had yet another day shrouded in smoke. It's the 4th day the city has been under a thick smog. The view from Mount Cootha was almost non-existent.
We are seeing some of that smoke actually spreading down across the southern suburbs and even down a little bit more towards the Gold Coast.
While the fiery skies have inspired photographers, the conditions also pose a serious health hazard.
Smoke can both trigger asthma symptoms or worse, cause a serious asthma flare-up that can require hospitalisations.
The city's air quality has been almost 12 times worse than the World Health Organisation's guidelines. The smoke is coming from controlled burns, which is a safety precaution ahead of what's expected to be a significant bushfire season.
Asthma Australia would like to work together with fire authorities and health authorities to make sure we improve the warnings, alerts and advice that we provide to communities ahead of burns.
And the planned burns are expected to continue until August.
The conditions for mitigation burning is quite favourable, so there may be smoke as a bit of a feature of our weather, even in the weeks and months to come.
The AFL is dealing with racism allegations. Developments over the past 24 hours has left many questioning why this investigation ended so abruptly and how can the AFL deal with racism allegations.
Resolution without resolution. The AFL's agreement involves just 6 of 11 complainants. The others refuse to be part of the investigation, never confident in its independence, given the panel was established and chosen by the AFL. It's not the end of a process, it's the collapse of a process, and raises yet more questions about how the AFL can create a safe space for all parties when it comes to racism allegations. For his part, the author of the Hawthorne Report, Phil Egan, says the whole industry should learn from this and contrasts this episode with the handling of the racism review into Collingwood.
The negotiations and the discussions and the structural changes and the compensation to the players was done in a very, very professional and quick manner. So, that's one way, it could have went, but sadly it hasn't gone that way.
This inquiry has been terminated in Reconciliation Week and just days after the AFL joined other sporting codes supporting the voice to Parliament.
It compromises it, I think, because on one hand you're saying you want to support these things, but on the other hand you've got this issue that's trickled along since mid last year or towards the end of last year, and they haven't been able to resolve it. So I think they've got lots of work to do.
The AFL and Hawthorne have repeatedly blamed so-called media leaks of the review without parties being given an opportunity to respond. The ABC strongly backs its reports breaking this story. There were no leaks, no interviewees were bound by confidentiality, and all parties were asked to respond more than once before publication. And no matter what the AFL wants, it's a story that won't end here.
And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Back home, this is a renewal strong wind warning issued by Papua New Guinea National Weather Service for all coastal waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, through Gulf of Papua to Yule Island, to Port Moresby to Hood Point, to Samarai Islands and all Milne Bay Islands, to Cape Vogel, and from Finchefan to Vitia Straits to Siasi, Long Islands to western tip of West New Britain, including Coral and southwest Bismarck seas. Fresh to strong southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots are expected to continue over the next 24 hours, causing rough seas. All small crafts and boats are advised to take necessary precautions before going out to sea, especially in the warning areas. And that ends the news segment. In sports, Caputin made history and OFC's first match.
You still have a chance to win with Digicel, Mad Money and more. Win over 560,000 kina in cash and prizes. Scalia. Yes, Digicel is giving you more cash and more prizes. There's 8 grand prize winners of 50,000 Kina cash each, 100 winners of 1,000 Kina cash each, plus 16 prize winners of water tanks and gensets.
Yes, yeah.
For your chance to win, top up by 5 Kina or more, or buy a Huawei 4G LTE smartphone, and you're in to win your share in Digicel's mad money of over 560,000 Kina in cash and prizes. Only with Digicel. Better together.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you.
Off at Tony, links on and they're through, it's through Wong, Sua Wong. Now Toby Long, Tafua in the corner. You can read it like a book.
Karate One Premier League, live from Fukuoka, June 11th.
Welcome to MotoGP. To be a highly dramatic 18-lap Malaysian Grand Prix Moto2, starting with...
So that's a very decent middle sector for the Alpine. They only half a second. Oh!
They have crashed! They've gone into each other! What a start for Will Davison. Dick Pasquale has been swamped.
Biggest and most talented egos in sailing.
The two-time defending champions make it 2 in a row.
Tasmania is Australia's smallest state, lying about 240 kilometres south of the mainland. Join me on my journey through this beautiful island state as I experience the produce, people and culture that makes this an unforgettable island.
Welcome back. In sports, Papua New Guinea's very own Relly Capitan has made history for herself by being inducted into the 2023 class of West Texas and A&M University Hall of Fame. The Athletic Hall of Champions, established in 1987, recognizes outstanding student athletes, coaches and administrators for their significant achievements.
The PNG national record holder was an integral part of the program at West Texas, winning their first 2 NCCA Division II national championships, as well as opening international recruiting for the track and field team to a whole new level. Caputin won 3 individual national championships competing for WTAMU and was named in the league's Lone Star Conference Female Field Athlete of the Year 3 times. She also collected 7 LSC titles along the way. In 2017, Caputin was named U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association National Women's Field Athlete of the Year after she became the first female individual national champion in the history of West Texas track and field, winning the triple jump and scoring 21 points at the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships in Birmingham, Alabama. She followed that up in the outdoor season by winning the triple jump and scoring 22 points at the NCAA Championships as West Texas claimed the national title. Caputin still holds the third longest outdoor triple jump mark, 13.28 meters, in NCAA Division II history. Following her career in K-On, Caputin competed in the Tokyo Olympics, and she is currently training on the Gold Coast, looking to qualify for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris.
The much anticipated first ever Women's Oceania Confederation Champions League Challenge kicked off today at the Sir Herbert Murray Stadium. Kiwi FC from Samoa and Labasa FC from Fiji opened the tournament, where Labasa FC stamped its mark with a convincing 6-0 victory.
The Fijian team kicked off the match on a high note with some promising touches. With early possession on the field, Labasa FC forward Sophie Dialowai net the first goal in the 14th minute. 6 minutes later, another goal came from Labasa FC number 10 Stella Naivalulevu to extend the lead 2-0. The strong Fijian team kept pushing their opposition with full possession of the ball. Fiji held their line until Naivalulevu picked up her second goal to extend the lead 3 just before half-time. In the second half, Labasa FC picked up from where they left off, going on to score 2 more goals through Unaisi Tuberi and Dialowai to seal the match 6-0. Labasa FC head coach Atta Simon said his side had a couple of opportunities slipped off their hands from the goal mouth, but they are happy not to show up all they've got in the first game.
We did miss a number of sitters. At the same time, before we came out, I told the guys, look, the other opponents are watching this game. Don't show too much in this game. Don't let too much of that. We save it for those other teams. So maybe that's the reason why they kick it outside all the time. The goal mouth.
Kiwi FC tried its best to contain Labasa's fast-flowing game. Coach Leti Tamasese was proud of the team's performance, saying the hot weather got them and that they need to work on fitness. The result could have been more devastating. Coach Tamasese applauded goalkeeper for preventing a handful of goals.
Without the saves she made, it would have gone above 10 goals against us. And I applaud her for that. I know she's not really, well, since she's got some injuries, but she did well today, yeah.
The teams will return this Saturday, the 3rd of June, for round 2 matches. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
The revamped Gazelle Rugby League competition in East Britain has kicked off its season proper, with 6 clubs fielding teams in A and B and under 20. Clubs are also encouraged to field women's teams to promote gender equality in rugby league. The competition will run for 15 weeks, including 3 weeks of finals.
The first round of the season proper was kicked off last Sunday at the Caravat Town Sports Field and sponsored by Karak Resources Group at a value of 240,000 kina for the next 3 years. Karak Gazelle Rugby League President Melly Tamlik again thanked Karak Resources Group for coming on board to support the revival of the league in the district, which has been in domain for the past 3 to 4 years. He said the competition was focused on building friendship, peace and order among the youths and people in the surrounding communities. More so, Tamlik said moving forward, Gazelle League would also incorporate rugby league programs into 4 schools already identified as part of the Development Pathway program. The president is again encouraging the community to rally behind the league to make sure the competition runs smoothly and new talents can be exposed from the district. The clubs include Caravat Panthers, Napex Bulls, Gazelle Cowboys, Takekel Brothers, Udmay Secondary and Vuneri Mistring Race. Tamlik said with the interest coming back, especially from youth, he is urging all clubs to mobilize and encourage the women folk, especially girls, to get involved not only for gender equality, but to use rugby league as another pathway for other opportunities. Giselle League is also proud to be part of PNG's first NRLW player and PNG Orchids captain Elsie Albert's journey, who played for Woodall Cowboys while studying at the Woodall University. This place is where champions are built, and we have to start below and build our players up, he said.
The Queensland spirit has struck again, with the Maroons digging deep to defeat New South Wales 26-18 in a thrilling State of Origin 1 at Adelaide Oval. Trailing 18-16 with 7 minutes to go and down to 12 players with Thomas Flagler in the sin bin, the Maroons were seemingly out on their feet in front of 48,613 entrailed spectators. But they refused to give up, and late tries to Hemisa Tabuafido, converted by Valentine Holmes and Cameron Munster, saw them claw their way over the line to take a 1-0 series lead. Here are the highlights.
Renewal of Australia's greatest sporting rivalry coming to you from an iconic venue, and the game is underway. Origin for 2023, and this will be a violent first clash. It's Tom Trebojevic. Queensland got coming here on play 5. Ball out to Munster, a roll through, the hammer! It's hammer time in Adelaide!
And then we come out the other end and we're playing our football, so
thank you, Billy. Holmes through, a pass for Cobbo. It's another one for Queensland. An early onslaught. Carrigan around the legs. Ball out to Cleary and wide. A pass from Martin. There's the Penrith combination. It yields the first try for New South Wales. And it's Liam Martin's first try in a blue jump.
Got to compete for New South Wales. Cobbo, great take there. It's in Reece Walsh.
There's a loose one. Picked up. Coruscant. Off a loose ball out of nowhere.
Well, the offload comes out the back to Coruscant.
Short of the Blues line here. Harry Grant. Away to Cherry Evans, and then a catch and pass by Walsh. He's nailed it. And a chance. It's a try. Both the Blues miss. Cobbo. Luai and Tedesco both failed to make the tackle, and Cobbo has slid over in the corner. Out wide there, New South Wales. Cleary with a kick. There's plenty of Blues jumpers there. Through they come. Ball goes back. Luai gives it away. Crichton scores. A reward for sustained pressure. Halfway. Ben Hunt to Daly Cherry Evans and away to Harry Grant. Inside out pass. Finds Munster. The two Melbourne Storm stars combined. Munster's got free of the tackle. Addo Carr has missed Tabuafido. And the hammer stands them up. And Queensland won't be going to do it again. A man down. And the Maroons have reclaimed the front. Cherry Evans. A tantalising kick. Lindsay Collins. A one-handed upload. The Maroons have got it 1 now. Munster with the try. And Lindsay Collins chasing a kick.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
To turn this around, the most daunting of assignments, to go to Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane and endeavour to send this series to a decider in Sydney. The Maroons lead 1-0.
The Raiders will be aiming for a 6th consecutive victory over the Tigers when the two teams square off at Campbelltown Stadium on Friday night. Canberra have dominated the Tigers in recent times, winning 9 of their last 10 meetings and last suffering a loss in Campbelltown all the way back in 2014.
Ricky Stewart's side have hit good form after a tough start to the season, coming into this encounter having won 6 of their last 7 matches. Currently in 7th spot on the ladder, the Raiders are just 2 points off the 4 teams holding an equal top position, and with a game against the Warriors to come before a bye next week, this is a great challenge for Canberra to really push towards the top of the table. Meanwhile, the Tigers have turned their season around after losing the opening 7 games, heading into this clash with 3 wins from their last 4 before last week's bye. The Tigers were explosive in their last outing, crushing the Cowboys 66-18 at Leichhardt, backing up against nail-biting wins over the Panthers and Dragons. However, the Tigers may be without star hooker Api Korisau, who is playing Origin on Wednesday night and may be rested for Friday's game. Hudson Young is also representing New South Wales for the Raiders. No doubt the Tigers are improving, but the Raiders are a tough side to beat when they are in good mood, and the Green Machine have won 6 of their last 7 games. Canberra have dominated this fixture in the past, winning 9 of the last 10 and their last 6 road meetings with the Tigers.
And that's the sports segment for tonight. Jess.
Thank you, Terry. And that ends the news tonight. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
Bye.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank,